I have a simple question for you now. Why are you still alive, George? Why haven't they put poison in your salad in a restaurant somewhere? Are you blessed, lucky, or do they think they've won?
No, they think they've won.
Your information comes from Intel, right?
Yeah.
You got some...
I have CIA, MI6, I have FBI, I have foreign government. I'm getting guidance and protection from the guys upstairs.
Sure.
The second thing is the guys that are in control, they understand that there's a much bigger picture.
This is George Green, the finance guy of the big boys. He says he used to run around with leaders, presidents, and the world's most powerful people. What he reveals next may challenge what you think is possible.
Cloning techniques, since 1938, they've been making clone people. There's 8 countries making clones. All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours. We give them a small electrical charge. Now they act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver.
If this is true, how does he have the courage to say it publicly? And man, he goes into detail. Before I play the next clip, there's something you should know. A guy just won $1 million by creating an AI film using VO3 on the stage of the 1 billion followers summit hosted by the UAE government. A 19-year-old girl runs an AI automated agency and earns $100K per month. And the most recent report from Forbes shows that employees who use AI at work are earning 40% more than those who don't. The AI employment paradox is alive, and February matters because the early adopter phase is over. So the question is simple. Will you watch this shift or will you win from it? So let me introduce you to Outskill, the first ever AI-focused educational platform to accelerate AI learning for people like you and me. They're hosting the 2-day AI Mastermind training, live this Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. EST on both days. And right now is the perfect moment to join because you can get in absolutely free for the next 48 hours. This 16 hours AI training has built 10 million plus AI first professionals worldwide and is rated 4.9 out of 5 on Trustpilot. People from marketing, finance, operations, product and engineering join this just because this is something which is not specific to any industry, but is now needed across every one of them. This is where you learn how to build AI agents that plan, write, execute and report for you, automate workflows that run even while you sleep, connect tools like Sheets, Notion, CRMs, and email to create profitable systems. Use AI to save hours every week and get an unfair advantage at work. Not just that, you'll also learn how to profit from these skills. People from this very training have launched AI-powered services that bring in 3 to 4K weekly just by applying the systems they're taught. To kickstart your year, you'll also get premium lifetime bonuses like the AI Prompt Bible, the AI Profit Roadmap, and your personalized AI Toolkit Builder, only if you attend both days. And here's the most interesting part. When you sign up, you'll get access to the 2026 AI Survival Hackbook, a comprehensive compilation of the upcoming AI shifts in 2026 and the practical steps you can take to be prepared. Seats are limited. Use the link in the description to join. Also, join the WhatsApp community to stay updated before the big blast.
I start talking about cloning too much, the people that get involved into that disappear on it because they always got 2 people following them and they may be killed.
Even Philip K. Dick, the well-known author, said on camera that the CIA and the FBI were watching him. He claimed they destroyed his house and took all of his papers. You wonder why?
You are free to believe me or to disbelieve, but please take my word on it that I am not joking. This is very serious. A breaching, a tinkering, a change had been made, but not in our present, had been made in our past. A variable was changed, reprogrammed as it were, and that because of this, an alternative world branched off, became actualized instead of the prior one.
A few years later, Philip suddenly died. Some people found the timing strange. He passed away shortly before the premiere of Blade Runner, the film based on his work that would have brought him worldwide recognition. Maybe it would have complicated certain plans. Who knows? This brings us back to George. I didn't find anything consistent on the internet about his current situation. A YouTube video from Aquarian Media interviewing George mentions in the description that he died in 2019, probably of natural causes. Maybe he was protected. Who knows? He says he was connected to people from the CIA, MI6, the FBI, and even foreign governments. Let's go deeper into this cloning thing because honestly, this is something I didn't expect.
Making people, meaning temporary people?
No, walking, talking ones.
Meaning through genetics?
All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours.
Uh-huh.
We give them a small electrical charge. They'll act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver in order to make it. So they were hypnotizing women, you know, and the fetus starts growing, right? Needs food. Well, they can use cows and sheep too. Again, a food source, that's all we need. After about 14 weeks, all of a sudden that fetus is gone, because they've learned to take, that's when the fetus starts developing its own blood supply. Then they've used a pituitary hormone extract that they have, which accelerates the being that grows. And the original technology was given to our government by the Greys. Now, the reason was that our scientists were all excited because we could have spare parts. If you need a heart or a liver or anything, you won't have any rejection. It's your own DNA.
Let's look at what is already possible. You might be surprised. Cloning is a biological process based on genetics. Every cell in the human body contains DNA. DNA carries the full genetic code of a person. This means that a single cell from skin, blood, or muscle holds the complete blueprint needed to build an entire organism. In modern science, the most known cloning method is called somatic cell nuclear transfer. This technique was used in 1996 to create Dolly the sheep, the first mammal cloned from an adult cell. The process begins by taking the nucleus from a somatic cell. The nucleus holds the DNA. Scientists then remove the nucleus from an unfertilized egg cell. The donor nucleus is inserted into that empty egg. After the transfer, the egg is stimulated with a small electrical pulse. The electrical signal triggers the egg to begin dividing, as if it had been fertilized naturally. If cell division continues successfully, the embryo starts developing. The embryo is then implanted into a surrogate mother. If the pregnancy is carried to term, the result is an animal that is genetically identical to the original donor. This method has been used to clone several animals, including cows, pigs, cats, dogs, and monkeys. The technology exists, it is documented, it is published in scientific journals. However, the success rate remains low. Many embryos fail to develop. Some cloned animals are born with health problems. Others age differently due to issues related to telomeres and cellular reprogramming. When it comes to humans, the situation is different. There's no verified scientific evidence of a successfully cloned human being. Human reproductive cloning is banned or heavily restricted in most countries. International scientific organizations have expressed strong ethical concerns. The risks include high failure rates, developmental abnormalities, and serious medical complications. There's a distinction between reproductive and therapeutic cloning. Reproductive cloning aims to create a human being. Therapeutic cloning produces stem cells, which is a completely different thing. Current biotechnology allows gene editing through tools such as CRISPR. This enables targeted changes in DNA. Gene editing is different from cloning. Cloning creates a genetic copy. Gene editing modifies specific sequences within the genome. Both fields raise ethical questions. But even with all of this information, let's say George was right. He says they were cloning presidents. In my mind, I only think about the physical aspect. But what about memory? Consciousness? Well, he has an explanation for that too.
Let's go to the next step, because this is the most important part.
All right.
If your physical reality that you have, based on this physical life that you have, this dream, is made up of the experiences that is impregnated on your body and in your mind, consciously, right? Mm-hmm. Your soul memory is another thing. It goes back whatever time that you elected to be in this incarnation for whatever reason. Now let's show you the division on these things. Since the body's very physical, and we just got you making a physical being in a few months for spare parts. They said, now we've got the perfect deal. How can we have that work better? Well, if you go to the hospital today and get an encephalogram, what's that? That's the memory of your conscious mind. It's on the CD. Let's download it on this being. Now we got a walking, talking duplicate that has the total memory that you have, because we just took it off of your own mind.
Okay, it's like Blade Runner, the android.
Exactly. The only thing is that it's like this DVD recorder. Sometimes you have glitches in it, so you have to have them tuned up occasionally or redone. And so we take them to Camp David, or there's a wing at Bethesda Hospital, to just tell you. If you go down there and check, you'll find the nurses, if they're willing to come forth, they'll tell you they work on those people, and they call them the others. They're people. Remember, these people can think and act, but they don't have soul.
After hearing all of this, a lot comes to mind. things we already know are possible. First, DNA is information. 4 chemical letters form sequences. Those sequences carry instructions for building and running a human body. Every cell contains this full archive. A skin cell carries the same genetic blueprint as a brain cell. The body is built from stored information. Scientists have measured how dense this storage is. DNA can hold enormous amounts of data in a microscopic space. Researchers have encoded books, images, and video files into synthetic DNA strands. The data was then later read back through sequencing. The information survived. DNA functioned as a long-term storage medium. This means biology already operates like an information system. The body reads, copies, and executes code continuously. Cells divide and replicate that code with high precision. The instructions remain stable across trillions of replications. Now we move into epigenetics. Genes do not run at full volume all the time. Chemical markers attach to DNA and influence how strongly a gene is expressed. Stress leaves chemical traces. Nutrition alters gene activity. Trauma can change molecular patterns. These changes can persist over time. In some cases, they can pass to the next generation. This process is called epigenetic inheritance. The experience of one body can leave a biological mark that appears later. This is where the idea of cellular memory enters the conversation. Cells carry patterns shaped by lived conditions. These are chemical signals stored in the body. They influence how genes behave. They influence development and response. There are also reports from transplant medicine. Some patients have described changes in preferences or personality after receiving an organ. There's no confirmed mechanism explaining memory transfer through organs. The topic remains open for study. At the same time, neuroscience maps memory to physical changes in the brain. Neural networks store information through synaptic modification. Learning reshapes connections between neurons. Protein synthesis changes in response to experience. Memory leaves a biological footprint in brain tissue. Synthetic biology expands the picture further. Scientists can edit genes with targeted tools. DNA sequences can be inserted, removed, or rewritten. Cells can be programmed to respond to specific signals. Genetic circuits can be designed to execute defined tasks. Biology is now a programmable platform. Now that we've talked about all of that, let's watch the next clip.
What they do is condense all matter back to light. It's kind of like what we're doing here, condensing everything down to a CD.
Okay.
And then we take that CD and then remanifest it. And that's what they're doing now. They're making holograms. If you go to Disney World, for instance, down there in the Haunted Mansion, you see the hologram, right? Oh, you know how to make a hologram. Well, our scientists have learned how to make people.
Well, actually, we just interviewed John Lear, and he was talking about being in an audience in which they were given a lecture by a guy that they thought was real and found out later he was a hologram.
Well, it's a synthetic. The synthetics, when you touch their skin, it feels like plastic.
George is mentioning that we also are holograms, and he builds that idea step by step. He starts from a biblical reference, from the line in the Gospel of John that says, "In the beginning was the Word." In his interpretation, the word itself points to something deeper, because before any word can exist, there must first be thought. Words are thoughts spoken aloud. When people pray, they are directing thought outward. When they meditate, they're attempting to receive thought. From this perspective, thought becomes the primary layer of reality. He then links thought to what many would call God, or to the creative force behind existence. Creation is described as something that unfolds across dimensions, manifesting at different levels. What we experience here in this physical dimension is presented as one layer of that manifestation. This layer is described as a hologram, an organized projection that feels solid and stable from the inside. Within this framework, the human body is understood as vibration structured into form. Light is vibration. Vibration is frequency. Matter appears solid because the vibrational pattern remains consistent. The body holds its shape because something organizes and stabilizes that pattern. In this model, that organizing principle is the soul. He refers to the old claim that the soul weighs 22 grams and connects this idea to hydrogen as a fundamental element in the universe. In his view, the body is a temporary projection shaped by thought, sustained by vibration, and animated by what he calls the soul.
Now, Carrie, using you as an example, if you're nothing more than a hologram of condensed light, how do I affect that condensed light? Well, we can affect it by the lights, right? If I put you, well, we don't have any in this room, but I put you under fluorescent fixtures, it will cause this physical being to be very weak.
Right.
I can also affect it by thought. We can make you weak. You've probably seen my demonstrations on how to make you weak, or have you? Let me show you. Can I use you as a demonstration?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do is...
You're going to do that, the arm thing?
Yeah, I'm going to do the arm thing, because you're going to hold it out.
Okay,
We'll use... Now, what I'm doing is, your arm is a kinesiology bit, basically holding energy. Okay, now, you hold it up, right? We're going down. Okay, now, I'm going to do is cut your energy line, which I just did. What happened to your arm? See how weak it got? You can't do it. What we're doing is a combination of mind control and body control of this hologram. Now, how do we manipulate it? By light, colors, and action. And how do we keep it in vibration, or keep it in balance?
Well, we've reached the end. There's a lot to process here, a lot of information that challenges how we usually see things. As you already know, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. Do your own research. Draw your own conclusions. Thank you for staying until the end. If you're here, I assume you're already subscribed. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear how you see it. If you found this interesting, a like helps a lot. Until next time.